a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
Oh, it's Adult August, week 3, as we continue to burn down summer, and tonight we got Dennis Quaid with The Rookie. Based on a true story, it's never too late to believe in your dreams. The VHS case says The Rookie is a rarity that needs to be cheered. Anne Hornaday, Washington Post. Is that a real person? Anne Hornaday? Nah, I don't accept that. Let's Google Miss Hornaday. Are you a real person, Anne? Anne Hornaday is an American film critic. She has been a film critic at the Washington Post since 2002 and is the author of Taking Pictures, How to Watch Movies, published in 2017, back in 2008. She was a finalist for the Pulitzer Prize for Criticism. Okay, well, and I guess. Insert Borat line here about a baseball. It's still cool to quote Borat, right? All right, we press play. No, my kid is asleep upstairs because it's Adult August. I press play. Narrator. There's a story told in the town of Big Lake, Texas. It's a Texas legend about a man who thought oil was right beneath his feet, but no one believed him except for 2 nuns who invested money in him. When they told the priest, he told them to try to get the money back, but it was too late. So he told them to go bless the site with rose petals and invoke the help of Saint Rita, patron saint of impossible dreams. While the workers waited for the oil that would eventually come, they played baseball, and some got so good they got to play in the major league in the glory days of Ruth and Gehrig. Turns out Saint Rita is gonna bless their town one more time. This is good shit. We jump to present day Connecticut. 2 kids playing baseball in the snow. Jimmy is a dreamer, but his parents need to talk to him. They're sending him to Virginia. No, they're all moving to Virginia because Jim's dad is in the army and he's a total He tells his kid, it's my job to decide when to move. It's your job to make the best of it. Jim takes his frustration out pitching against a fence later. They're in Virginia now. They need to talk to him again. This time they're moving to California. They're in California now. Jim's playing on a legit baseball team and he's playing well, like at a high level. After the game, he's excited. He goes to see his dad at work. He's like, Dad, I got 13 strikeouts this game. His dad doesn't give a shit, because he's going to move the family again, this time from California to Texas. But there's still half a season left. Maybe I can stay in California with the Johnsons so I can finish the season. Nah! They move as a family, his dad says. But there's no baseball in Texas. No, there's not. Jim eats shit again. Man, I don't want to go too far to the side, but I could not imagine uprooting my family and making my kids move and start over like time and time again. Just no. This part made me sad. I'm angry now. So they move to Texas. They see oil rigs along the way. Jim asks, what are those? His dad says, quote, they go up and down when times are good. Come on. Don't we all? They move and they forgot to pack the box that had his glove in it. And his dad is like, quit your moping. There's bigger things in life than baseball. Like, I want this dad to die already, early in this movie. The kid goes to the local store to buy socks, which were in the missing box with his baseball glove. He meets the nice storekeeper. He asks if they carry baseball stuff. And nah, baseball in Texas is like dancing to the footloose town. It's a football town, son, but he has a catalog that he could probably order some baseball stuff in it. Shopkeeper tells Jim about the legend of Saint Rita and the blessed area. Jim's impressed. He goes to like the field, the blessed field, and he starts scratching and kicking the dirt. This is good. I like this. This movie is already punching above its weight. Keep in mind, I don't like baseball at all. I don't. He starts stomping and scraping a home plate, and we get a passage of time, and now he's an adult. How long was he working on that field? No, he shows up for work, and he works in a school in the same Texas town. Okay, he's a teacher there and a coach at the school. Brenda from 6 Feet Under walks by, and she slaps him on the I've never talked about 6 Feet Under, but HBO's series 6 Feet Under is my favorite show of all time. So this movie, The Rookie, that has Brenda in it. Can't even score anything less than a 10 out of 10 in my mind. Yeah, Jim is the coach. He's also teaching science, as most coaches do in high school. I'm being funny, but it's also true. In high school, I had a bunch of gym teachers teach me other subjects, and honestly, they're some of the best teachers because they weren't afraid to be like, great question, I don't know. I'll find out tonight and get back to you tomorrow. Unlike most high school teachers teaching the classes, they think they're so knowledgeable and who would never admit they didn't know something because they're like, yeah, so smart. He's in diner with some kid, but I don't think it's his kid. I hope he's not married and Brenda's grabbing his ass at work, but let's figure this out. Okay, he had surgery on his arm. I assume that's going to be the story here. His baseball career got cut short because of an arm injury. The kid, which is his son, asks about his arm. He's like, well, it didn't hurt when I was in high school because there was no baseball. It never hurt in college. And then when I was drafted, that's when it hurt. That sucks. This kid asks, is that why you didn't make it? He kind of looks into the distance and goes, it's never just one thing. Scene change. He's whipping pitches in the dark. A crying baby then wakes him up and he's in bed with Brenda. Okay, they're married. Okay, that's fun. That makes sense. He's trying to put together a baseball team at the school, and there's no grass at all. It's just dirt in this football town. He has a small baseball team together at the school, like I said. Their pitcher didn't show up for one practice, so one kid sasses him, and he's like, you pitch. And he's like, all right, I'll throw a couple. And he and this kid play some catch. How funny would it be if his arm just fell off right now? Just clean fell off in the dirt. The kid keeps telling him, come on, coach, come on, bring one. Bring the heat. He promised doctors he wouldn't bring the heat anymore, but the kid eggs him on, and he just launches this missile, and the kid is surprised. It feels good, so he starts whipping one after another. I really jumped the gun with the arm falling off joke, because it'd be even funnier now. Montage of him pitching like a madman. He's like, no one tell my wife Brenda I was doing this. She's going to be so mad. The grass won't grow on the field because the deer eat the grass seeds. So now it's later that night. He's drinking with Brenda, his wife, and after making all those people promise not to tell his wife, he starts bragging to his wife about how great he was pitching tonight. Okay, now it's batting practice, and he's gonna pitch. The kids think it's hilarious that he's pitching. Nothing predictable here. Whoosh! Rockets one past the cocky batter. The kids are like, let's see that again. And he's like, nah, it's batting practice, not pitching practice. This is fun. Goes back to the store. The storekeeper is still the same guy from when he was a kid. He's old now, but they're still pals. And he's like, I can get your grass growing after your next game. So they lose their season opener, but the storekeeper gets to work. After they lost the game, though, coach is addressing them in the room, and he's like, you quit out there, and if you keep quitting, the school is going to drop the program. He gives them the Braveheart speech about dreams, and they're like, what about your dreams, coach? And he's like, I had my shot. And they're like, take another shot. You're pitching madman. He tries to shut him down. They're like, okay, how about this? We start winning, and you take another shot. If we win district and go to state playoffs, will you do another major league tryout? Everyone agrees. This is good stuff, Disney. Like, solid plot, great acting, and Brenda from 6 Feet Under. He drives to a highway speed checker, and he gets out and he starts pitching by it to see how fast he's throwing. For real, I'm not a sports guy. I shoot a lot of sports. I don't watch a lot of sports in my spare time, don't really care for sports, but movies like this make me get it. This is epic. He pitches a 76-mile-an-hour ball. He's sad, but as he walks away, the 7 flickers. Turns out it was actually a 9. Unbeknownst to him, he just pitched a 96-mile-an-hour ball. The storekeeper is sprinkling hair from a barber shop on the field, and the grass is growing. Brian Cox is now playing his old dad, Brian Cox, in this movie. He got his grandson a first base mitt for his birthday, and dad is still holding a grudge against the grandpa, his dad, and rightfully so. Brian Cox, though, incredible. It's their son's birthday, and seeing Brenda sing happy birthday like the final scene of 6 Feet Under makes me burst into tears, and I wish I was making that up. Unreal. 6 Feet Under, the greatest show ever made. Now Jim is getting chewed out by his mom about his chilly relationship with his dad, and no forgiveness here. She's like, he wasn't responsible for all your problems. He had dreams of his own. And Jim is like, cool. Why did you two get divorced then if he was such a good guy? And that shuts up mom real quick. They practice and the kids want him to pitch again. He strikes everyone out. We go from a practice montage to a them winning games montage. Suddenly the school board wants to reassign him to a different school. And it's twice as much money and he doesn't want to go. It's like, how many years has he been living in this town? And suddenly now they're trying to put him in a different school. Okay. But watch this. He's not going to go because he's a good dad. He's not going to move his family and like make his kids start over, right? Later, he's in the locker room giving the kids the speech. They've won 16 games this season. They need to win one more. They need 17. Anyone got any questions? One kid who overheard the last conversation goes, Coach, you coming back next year? He goes, we'll worry about next year. after this game. It's game 17, first pitch, and they're somehow down 2 runs. I mean, I don't know much about baseball, but that doesn't seem right. They start fighting back. We go to the bases loaded part of this, and the pitcher is doubting himself. We get some legit wonderful drama as they strike him out and they win the game. We cut to a party in the locker room, and they let the scene play out for an unusually long time. They play like half of House of Pain jump around as the kids just dance, and it's really long and it's really fun. They give coach a ball, they all sign, and they tell him, all right, buddy, now it's your turn. This has weight. This movie is solid. I don't know why he's keeping it from his wife. He's at home thinking about tryouts that day, and she's like, well, if you go anywhere today, make sure you take the kids. So he loads the 3 kids into his truck and drives to tryouts. I really love this movie. He's dragging his kids in line, and the people running the tryouts kind of look beside him, and they're like, did you bring some kids here for tryouts? And he awkwardly tells them, nope, I'm here for me. As an aging dad that still has lofty dreams, I feel this. He's coloring with his daughter as he waits for his turn. Now he's changing a diaper as his name is called. God, I want this guy to succeed. Do it for dreaming dads everywhere, buddy. He starts pitching and people start watching. Yeah, you ageist dads aren't dead yet. He's killing it. My script says are taking notes, but I'm pretty sure I meant to write scouts are taking notes. Weird autocorrect. Anyway, a scout comes over after and is like, you were breaking speed records out there. There's a chance you're going to get a call. Why am I feeling this movie so much? I don't even know this actor. I don't like baseball, but I'm all in on this movie. And yeah, he doesn't like baseball. He doesn't like baseball. He's wearing a Yankees hat. I don't like baseball or the Yankees. I love Limp Bizkit. I just can't pull off the red backwards cap, but I do legit want to be Fred Durst. His wife is at home unpacking groceries, and beep, there's a message on the machine from her husband. Hey, don't make supper. I'm going to bring pizza home. Then beep, hi, this is Tampa Bay. And beep, other people who want him to come back for another tryout. These are major league scouts on the answering machine. Again, props to the writing team, because Brenda isn't being the mad, grumpy wife. She's just like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, well, you didn't seem, and you don't seem too excited. And she kind of lies and is like, no, I'm totally excited. You know how much baseball players get paid, Brenda? What am I missing? Now he's practice pitching in the rain, slow-mo. Again, normally I'd be clowning on this, but this is awesome. He's back at tryouts and he's still throwing 97-mile-an-hour pitches. Everyone is impressed. Now it's time to stick it to his old man, right? Go to dad's house and shove it down his throat. He drives to his dad's house, but then he's like, Dad, I don't know what to do. I was not expecting that either. He's like, Dad, what do I do? Outside of the main storyline, nothing in this movie has been predictable. His jerk dad is like, oh, your grandpa used to say, basically, do what's best for your family or something. I kind of missed it, but then he gets home and he's mad about this advice. And Brenda's like, well, maybe your dad's right. We need money and you can't eat dreams. Oh, elbow drop. She's like, have you forgotten you have a good family and a good job waiting for you in Fort Worth? Girl, just stop. Again, what am I missing here? What year is this supposed to be? Like, if this small town nobody had the chance to play Major League Baseball, don't you think everyone, including his current employers, would be like behind him? Like, dude, go try to make it. There's a job waiting for you until you know either way. Like, that kind of a thing. I don't know. Anyway, Brenda is not picking up what he's putting down. And she's like, what about my dreams? And when that doesn't work, she changes gears and she's like, I don't want to see your arm get hurt again. Now suddenly she comes back around the other side and she's like, well, we have an 8-year-old boy who waited all day to see if his dad could do something no one believed he could do. And then to further complete the 180, she's like, I don't need a man. I can make money and raise his family by myself, so go shoot for the stars. That morning, he wakes up, he kisses his sleeping kids, and he sneaks out of the door. Which is maybe what he should have done with Brenda all those years ago. I'm joking. Come on, man. Wife Brenda's actually waiting by the door to say goodbye to him. And suddenly, she swings a baseball bat right into his elbow. You're not going anywhere. Be a dad. My God, no! Okay, could you imagine if that actually happened? This is why they don't let me write these scripts. It's the only reason Disney doesn't let me write their scripts. He's pitching the first game, and it's not a huge deal. He's getting like booed, but pitches a decent game, I think. They don't really go into detail. It's like they cut something out here. Because that night he's on the phone, he's kind of sad. I guess he misses his family, which makes sense, but I don't know. The sudden tone change was weird. And now we're back to game footage of him striking out. He's letting in some hits. They're behind on money now back at home, and he's tired and grumpy. And I don't really understand what's happening here. I guess you don't make much money when you're like in baseball limbo, because I think he's playing in the minors actually, trying to get called up to the majors. Is that how it works? Tim Stewart from ABC News is interviewing him, and the rest of the team are jealous. Now I'm sad again. They're on him about using the payphone for too long one night, and he slams the phone down, and he's like, my son needed help with his homework, and that shuts the cocky kids up real fast. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Adult problems. He befriends a couple teammates, they go out drinking, and they let it slip that the team thinks he's some kind of publicity stunt. Ooh. He's out pitching, he sees his dads and sons in the stands, he misses his family. So he goes and he talks to his manager and he's like, I got a good job back home where I make more money, and let's be honest, I'm not going to get called up, am I? They're going to call the other pitcher up. And the team manager is like, you were my best relief pitcher last month, son. He calls home and he gives up anyways. He's like, I'm Diddy, I'm coming home. It's time. I gave my 2 weeks notice, I'm just going to come home now. Brenda says, so stay and pitch for those last 2 weeks. And he's like, nah, I'm coming home. And she's like, my guy, do this for the right reasons, okay? He's watching TV and the America's Funniest Home Videos guy pitches to the story the news did on him, and he realizes he's inspirational because he went back to the minor leagues for a shot as he was older. We see everyone watching in their own houses, in their own towns, and smiling and cheering him on. He's watching this all by himself in the barn, and now he does a 180, and he realizes how inspirational this is, and he's like, let's play ball, I'm back! The big club called, and yeah, they're calling up Brooks, the other pitcher, not him. Swerve, they're calling up Brooks and him. He flies out tonight and hooks up with the team tomorrow in Texas. That's where he lives. Damn, this is a moment. I love this movie. Brenda's doing what all 80s and 90s movie mums do when the phone rings. She's in the kitchen chopping vegetables. He's like, can you get that blue sports coat and bring it to Arlington tomorrow? She immediately gets it, goes, you tell me right now, Jimmy Morris. He goes, apparently there's a dress code in the major leagues. Can you tell everyone I made it? She goes, sure. But you got to tell one person, yourself. And she puts their son on the phone, and he's like, Daddy's going to be a major league pitcher for the Devil Rays. And I mean, I'm not crying at this scene, but I'm super f***ing close. Thankfully, the mood changes, and his hometown is going nuts and celebrating and handing out flyers like, come watch Coach Morris in the big leagues tomorrow night. He steps out of a cab, pre-drone aerial camera work, and he steps into the ballpark, Arlington. Again, don't like baseball, but this is awesome. I'm feeling things. He and his other teammate that got the call up, like Brooks, they go to the locker room hours before the rest of the team get there. They're just walking around the empty locker room, taking in, they see their little section with their jerseys hanging up, and he rubs his patron saint medallion. It's game time. It's the Devil Rays against your Texas Rangers. I really want this to be the end of the movie, but I feel like they haven't done the broken arm scare thing yet. Brenda comes running as he's warming up, and now that he's making major league money, she's all about this career change, and that's not fair. She's been supportive. They have a moment. The old high school ball team arrive in the Giant Stadium, and their reactions are great. The Rays are down 5-1 as the game starts, and they tell him to start warming up because he's coming in to pitch. Then they put him out there, and he walks out to the pitcher's mound in his hometown. All his friends and family go nuts. This movie is solid. I really don't want his arm to fall off now. Being a movie, I know he's going to throw a bunch of balls first to like bring the mood down and the suspense, but no, I'm wrong again. He throws a 98-mile-an-hour strike, then another. I swear, man, on this third one, if he hits a home run and they lose, it's going to break my heart. I'm turning this movie off and stomping the VHS tape. The audio completely drops as he throws his third strike. Okay, movie, you done well. It's time to freeze frame and put up the graphic that says something like, Morris went on to win 17 World Series. But no, the movie keeps going. The reporters swarm him, but he sees his dad in the background. He goes and talks to Brian Cox, and Brian Cox is finally proud of his son. Push him over. You don't get this moment. You don't get to be proud, as Brenda would say.
That's such a f***ing cliche bar.
To keep his dream, he did everything to keep his dream down, but no, he forgives his dad, forgiveness all around. He gives him his first strikeout baseball. Brenda's like, does this mean I don't get a baseball? Which is kind of a funny line. She opens the stadium back doors, then in the parking lot, it's all his friends and family going nuts for him. Back in the high school, his jersey's at a showcase. They bring it back to the nuns and the blessing. Now we finally get that freeze frame ending, and the words say, Jim Morris pitched in the major leagues for 2 seasons. He lives once again in Texas. That's it. Wow. 203 weeks in, and that was one of my favorite Disney movies yet, for real. Brian Cox and Rachel Griffiths in the same movie. Honestly, that was epic from start to finish. The dad in me is so proud of the based on a true story dad in The Rookie. But 6 Feet Under fans know everything ends.
Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism